Do you guys remember David Grusch, the guy who blew the whole lid off the entire alien situation about 6 months ago? The infamous whistleblower who did that very infamous UFO News Nation interview, who said that we have actually made contact with alien beings and are using leftover craft and reverse engineering and all the rest of it. Well, he's come under a little bit of fire recently for his story not quite matching up with what he's claiming to be the case. Now, in case you were living under a rock about 6 months ago, here is the initial News Nation report that came out about all of this, which completely blew the entire lid off of everything. And I mean everything. Take a little look at this.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone.
That completely shocked the world. The entire world. We were all just stood in awe of this man being like, whoa, if this is true, he's just completely blown the lid off of everything.
If you're right, if you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number. Some are landed, some are crashed.
Now, that in itself could be absolutely bonkers if true, but as we go on, you're going to find out some very interesting things about this story.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Like, what could that possibly be? Like, the way that it moves, the way that it moves. I don't know what else to say. It's just so unnatural.
They're non-prosaic cases, 100% unexplainable. I mean, this is like tangible technical craft they're seeing.
He's always gone on to say that he's had a very keen eye for all things UFO. He's always been so ingrained within it, and he's always had an interest in it. Well, there might be some things to say otherwise.
For decades, the UFO question has been consigned to the realm of speculation, but in recent years, serious people have started taking the subject seriously.
You'll see it come through the top of the screen. There it goes.
Prompted in part by the release of these videos, purporting to show encounters between American naval aviators and what the Pentagon has labelled unidentified aerial or anomalous phenomena.
I was an intel officer for the U.S. for 14 years. My last position, which I left in April of 2023, I co-led the UAP portfolio for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and some of the highest officials within the Department of Defense and intelligence community used to call on me to advise them on some of the hardest target sets that the country had.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
So, that, as you can imagine, completely blew the internet up. Everyone was talking about it. And since this whistleblowing moment, I suppose, there have been far more congressional hearings, going from maybe once every 6 months about UAPs and UFOs to now almost monthly. David Grusch is kind of a figurehead within the UAP community, always offering statements and a face to these congressional hearings. Now, heading over to Twitter, there is a Twitter page that goes by the name The Average Chris, and he stated, breaking news, David Grusch lied about his interests in the UFO topic. Now, one thing that David Grusch has always said is that he's always had a very, very keen interest in UAPs and UFOs. It almost kind of backed up his credibility to UFOs and UAPs and stuff like this, but this post that I'm about to read to you could completely blow that out of the water. In a recent FOIA reply that BlackVault.com received back in its inquiry into David Grusch's interview with the Department of Defense Inspector General in 2021, it states that, quote, Major Grusch stated that, redacted, he stated he has been studying UAPs for 15 years. And that he serves as the NRO to the UAP task force. In interviews David Grusch has previously done, including the very popular Joe Rogan podcast with Joe Rogan, Grusch stated that, paraphrasing, quote, he didn't have an interest in the UAP topic for most of his career. He's also stated that he didn't even start paying attention to the topic until he read up on the 2017 New York Times article about Lou Elizondo. This new insight from the interview with the Department of Defense Inspector General now shows that David Grush has in fact on record stated that he has an interest in UFO topic for his entire career, which spans back 14 years according to his military and government service. If you take 2021, subtract 15 years, that is 2006, and around that time he joined the military, maybe even a little before. Proof that David Grush has lied to the public about his involvement and interest in the topic. Video of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast where Grush claims to have had no previous interest before 2017 attached. Link to the FOIA document. Major Grush stated that, and then you see the redacted part, he stated that he has been studying UAPs for 15 years and he serves as the NRO liaison to the UAP task force. The document also revealed Grush's vision for a strategic anomaly resolution office dedicated to investigating UAPs and other strategic anomalies. Accompanying this release was a PowerPoint presentation notable of its lack of redactions or classification markings, which does raise the question on if it was official PowerPoint presentation or a quote briefing created by Grush himself on his own time to pitch to the DoD. The presentation included a never before seen seal for the proposed office and a breakdown of how the office would operate and what it would attempt to accomplish. Just 6 weeks after Grush gave this idea to a top secret meeting with the DoD/IG Christopher Mellon, who formerly Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence in the Clinton and George W. Bush administrations, opined the exact same idea for the office in July 2021. Blog posted titled, quote, "Suggestions for the Congress on the UAP issue." Quote, "I therefore suggest framing the issue broadly to give the troops a place to send all manner of strange and unexpected phenomena that don't readily fit into existing job jar." Mellon wrote, quote, "Perhaps something like the Office of Strategic Anomaly Resolution that could become an analytic starting point for other anomalies." In November of the same year, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand introduced an amendment seeking to establish the, quote, "Anomaly Surveillance and Resolution Office." What was absent of the documents were details that Grush has become more widely known for: allegations of non-human, quote, "dead pilots of UAPs, claims of crash retrieval and reverse engineering programs of craft of unknown origin, and the idea, quote, white-collar crime that was being committed to conceal UFO research efforts were all not mentioned in the DoD/IG's notes. Redactions were minimal and were all primarily FOIA exemptions B to 6, which essentially protects personal privacy. This rules out that any classified material was exempted within this release. Section 5. Major Grush stated that we should speak with, redacted, an Air Force point of contact regarding potential recovered UAP materials. Only 16 pages were released in response to the FOIA request for all documents related to Grush's communications with the DoD/IG, despite the request encompassing a wide range of materials including correspondence, reports, memos and transcript filed in June of 2023. A new request has been filed to include information beyond the 2021 date. Now this document here is obviously the one that is being referred to. You can see the redacted part here in black. Major Grush stated and then redacted. He also stated that he has been studying UAPs for 15 years and that he serves as the NRO liaison to the UAP task force. So then we take a little look at the clip from the Joe Rogan Experience, which looks a little bit like this.
UFOs were not on my radar. I wasn't really a believer. I was agnostic about it.
So there you go. What do you make of this? This has kind of completely blown up on Twitter because obviously this guy is the front runner, the spearhead, if you will, for UAPs, the congressional hearings, you know, UFOs. He is the whistleblower. Apart from like Bob Lazar, he's probably one of the most infamous whistleblowers out there. So, I'll hand it over to you guys. What do you make of this? Do you believe that David Grush truly has intel about UFOs, UAPs and the like? Or has he made it all up? Is this correct? I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to jump, get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video. And I'll speak to you later. Peace.